What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Sorry, guys, I am tickled by something I was thinking, like, just before I hit record. It sucks being in my mind sometimes, guys. I go, like, a million different places. But listen, thank you, guys. Thank you for being here. And I want to talk to you about Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever, one more time, okay? And, well, I'm just kidding. I'm sure this is not going to be the last time I talk about this. It's a travesty. But anyway, as lovers of this movie will tell you, the movie has been a smashing success. It's made a lot of money since it's been released. And of course, they'll say to you, "Ha! Take that, you haters. It's made a lot of money. Patooey on you." Well, I was never invested in this movie being a commercial flop. As a matter of fact, I always said that it's not even about whether or not the movie is good to me. It's about whether it was what it was supposed to be. And of course, since I said that, it's already been confirmed that it's not what it was supposed to be. Ryan Coogler himself said that it was a different story that he was coming up with. But then, of course, the untimely passing of Chadwick Boseman changed the plans of what they wanted this movie to be. And so now it is what it is today. All right. So I don't know. I was right about that. But even more so, I had pointed out that I believe that what they chose to do in their lazy creativeness was to exploit the death of Chadwick Boseman, not just build a story around it, but to literally exploit that man's death. And of course, once again, you get pushback from people who don't understand exactly what the word exploit means. More on that later, but we have word that producer executive Nate Moore is saying in an interview that that's exactly what he did do. They exploited the death of Chadwick Boseman in order to come up with the story that we have today. All right. So let's get into exactly what Nate Moore had to say about the way they exploited the death of Chadwick Boseman, shall we? This is, as I said, on Deadline.com. And it says here, producer Nate Moore on pivoting Black Panther after Chadwick Boseman's death, and more stories to be told with Harry Styles and Crew Call podcast. All right. This was on the Crew Call podcast. All right. So it says here, should we even make this movie? That was a thought that crossed Black Panther, Wakanda Forever producer and Marvel executive Nate Moore's mind following the passing of Chadwick Boseman about whether to move forward with the sequel. Now, a script had been written, pre-production already in place. Then Boseman's sudden death on August 28, 2020 at the age of 43 from colon cancer happened. And he went on to say how to narratively address his absence in a way that felt honest. It was a challenge that Nate Moore says he, Marvel, and filmmaker Ryan Coogler faced. It was the only way that felt authentic, he says. We knew we had a reaction to the passing. We knew that we had a reaction to the passing. But clearly, the world had a reaction to the passing, Moore explains on the latest episode of Crew Call. So, they knew that it wasn't just them, of course, that had a reaction to the passing, but it was the world. And what did that mean to Nate Moore? It meant money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Of course, the world had a reaction to the passing. So how do we use this? He said, it felt like the most genuine thing to do as storytellers, says Moore about Boseman's passing, to use that thing as fuel. He said it was the most genuine thing to do to use that death as fuel for the next movie. As fuel. They wanted to use it. Like it's a car that you put gas in, fueling it, how to use it. Of course, the car goes nowhere without gas, right? So that's what he's talking about. We're going to use the death of Chadwick Boseman as fuel. Okay. And he says, and get this part, the notion of recasting never crossed my mind, he adds. It never, ever crossed my mind. He never thought about recasting. What does that mean? What it means is that all of the excuses and reasons and hypothesis and speculation that you've all given me for why they wouldn't recast T'Challa is null and void. The man just said he never even thought about it. All right. So that means he never thought about what audiences would want. He never thought about what children might think of this. For everybody who's like, well, maybe children couldn't handle it if he recast it. Maybe that's what they were thinking. Nope, that's not what he was thinking. It never crossed his mind ever. And you know what else it means? It means that what Chadwick Boseman himself would have wanted never crossed his mind. He actually says it here. The notion of recasting never crossed my mind. Never! So, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. No matter how you try to spin it, this man never, ever thought about the implications of discontinuing the oldest black comic book character ever. He ended it. Now, the question I'm asking you is, do you think it would have crossed his mind or crossed anybody else's mind before you ended Superman, before you ended Spider-Man, before you ended Batman, before you ended Wolverine, for that matter? You know, I think we already have the answer to that because we see numerous recastings of all of those characters. So at some point, somebody decided that the character was important and had to endure in everything that it stood for. But Nate Moore, Ryan Coogler, the cast and crew, no, never ever considered it. And these are people who claim to be so loving and so sympathetic and so understanding of the workings of the mind of Chadwick Boseman. We love him so, but we never, these are his words, never even considered recasting, never considered what he might think of recasting. No, they never gave a thought to that. You hear it there from his own mouth. Okay, so my whole point in relaying this to you in closing is just that this is what it always was, guys. It's exactly what I said, to exploit the death of Chadwick Boseman to make this thing. All right, now for everybody who might be sitting there saying to themselves, he didn't say exploit, he didn't actually use those words. Let's talk about the meanings of words, shall we? Okay, we have here the definition of exploit. Okay, exploit, to make full use of and derive benefit from something. That's what exploit means, to make full use of and derive benefit from. Well, he just got through saying they wanted to use that thing as fuel to get somewhere. Like I said before, a car won't go without the fuel. So you use this as fuel to get somewhere, to get benefit from. We just said Wakanda Forever was a great financial success. They benefited from it. In order to benefit from it, they used the death of Chadwick Boseman as fuel. Boom! There you are. Okay, now you can get in the comment section and tell me why it doesn't matter, which many of you will. Just shut up, it doesn't matter. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it. Yay! All right. Meanwhile, just continue to ignore how they treat black characters, how they dispose of black characters, how they use and exploit black characters. Thank you very much. All right, so there it is. Do with it what you will. You can like, you can share, you can subscribe. Thank you guys for listening. Catch you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.